Yo, what's good, everybody? My name is Cosmic, and I want to welcome you to my channel, Opinion Stated, where I give unfiltered, opinionated sports takes. Let's go. Yo, what's good? I was supposed to be going live a little sooner than now. My Commanders are out here getting stomped on early. This is all good. It's just preseason, but I'm all right. Man, you're going to tighten this up. This is crazy. As you can see, I have the present score updated here on screen, but it's like the Pats, man, about to go back up in there. It's crazy. None of the starters aren't playing. It's not full-fledged mob, whole nine. They've been doing the joint practices this week and, kind of getting some other things in terms of plays and schemes and all that stuff. And this is the time to actually work it all through. Mixed reports coming in, all week long as they had the joint practices with the Patriots about how the defense is looking good, stopping the run, etc. So, again, I don't really look at this as an indication of, where we are, who we are or will be as a team. But preseason or not, you know what I mean? I'm expecting the team to come out and have a good showing right now. Down 7-0, third and goal here for New England inside of what looks like about the 15 or so. So red zone opportunity for them. Third and goal. One last shot at it. Looking to go up either 14 donut, at least 10 to donut. Or actually, they're inside the 10. Ball's on about the 5-yard line. Defensive stand here, man. Don't you let Drake May walk in there. He walked in there. 14 donut. Yeah, they smashing us right now. They're smashing us right now. They are legit smashing this mob right now, man. 14 donut. I'll get the score updated here. Drake May just walked in for a touchdown. Yeah, man, kind of wild. But like I said, as far as the, preseason goes, I'm excited to have football back, one way or the other. It has been a long summer season. There is no more basketball on aside from WNBA. So, what has been happening from a standpoint of excitement, things to talk about, you know what I mean? Like haven't really been the basketball off season hasn't really been basketball off seasoning. It's been wild, you know what I mean? A whole bunch of LeBron antics and nothing else really to report in terms of free agency, etc. So, I just figure, man, with the football season approaching, obviously gives an opportunity to talk about some other things. I'm gaga about my Commanders and JD5, obviously. Got to work out the Terry McLaurin situation here with contract, obviously. If you caught my last episode, then you heard me talk a lot about that. My bad. I'm looking down, trying to get this score updated here on screen for you. The Patriots are up on my Commanders right now, 14 to donut. Oddly enough, but it is what it is. Let's see. But yeah, man, we got we have a really good football season, a really exciting football season, I think, coming up. There seems to be a lot of parity. A lot of parity in this NFL coming up. So I'm definitely looking forward to a season chock full of really good matchups. We will see how it all kind of plays out. But all in all, there you go. That score's been updated there. So if you don't know, now you know. New England's putting in that work. like I said, right now up 14 donut. So yeah, but yeah, man. So super excited about that. I want to go live during the show or during the game to try to kind of work out the kinks of the live, etc. Man, I know I normally personally myself do a lot of episodic, so I enjoy just kind of shooting the episodes and then editing and uploading just to make sure that what I mean, I got all my details straight and all my I's crossed or I's dotted, T's crossed, etc. So but going live, obviously I want to go live a little bit more as the season goes on, as the season progresses. I did so quite a few times for NBA games last year, so I wanted to do the same here with football. And just kind of give a live reaction to the game and kind of what's happening throughout. Like I said, right now the Commanders are taking on the Patriots. Patriots are up 14-0, so that graphic on screen is accurate. 5 minutes and 40 seconds left here in the first quarter. I don't know necessarily that I was personally expecting, one way or the other, anything other than seeing football. I've taken in, some of the other preseason games so far this season, and or over the last couple weeks, last 2 weeks, starting with the Hall of Fame game last week. And yeah, man, like I said, I'm excited to have football back more than anything else. Give us a bit of a change of pace to see some of these teams that are, seemingly good teams on paper, to see how it looks when it actually gets on field. The Commanders have added a whole bunch of pieces, man, offensively and defensively, especially left tackle Laremy Tunsil, obviously, who will be tasked with, keeping that wall built in that pocket clean for Jaden as time goes on. But Josh Connerly and some of the other pickups on the defensive side are, I guess, promising, to say the least. So I'm actually excited about those. Obviously, adding Debo and some of the other offensive weapons. Getting a chance to see or hear a whole bunch of talk about the rookies that we picked up. Some that we picked up through the draft, etc. So I'm interested in seeing kind of how these pieces fit. Everything's all about fit, obviously, team chemistry as well. I'm not worried about kind of the coaching. The coaching is the coaching. I think that the players are the players, obviously, but yeah, remains to be seen kind of how we all gel well together. Yeah, and that's a decent run. Speaking of the rookies, from Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, Bill, a.k.a. Bill Krosky-Merritt. So really excited to see this kid. I heard a lot about him during the training camp. He just broke 1 for 9 yards from scrimmage. Hard runner, looks like, hits the hole explosively, which is a very welcome sign. I feel like, over the years, man, that's one thing that our running back core lacks or has lacked. And it's that, kind of explosiveness through the holes. So, you know what I mean? Like, man, you gotta, I mean, you have to attack it. You know what I mean? And so I don't really like, the kind of pity pat type runners or those that are trying to break, you know what I mean? Like do the Barry Sanders thing, you know what I mean? Like before even attacking the holes. So Krosky-Merritt comes in with a whole bunch of hoopla. Great pass to Moore. That's a good catch, man. What are you talking about? Drop that thing. Did he drop it? Wait a minute, what? Oh, damn, it does roll. I want to say, what are you talking about, though? But anyway, so yeah, the Pats, like I said, man, are up 14 donut right now. It is getting real in here. It's really real. Let me see. Let me see if I can see y'all. What's good? What's good? What's good? Oh, somebody's in here. Let y'all know that. What up, Woodage? Yeah, man, it's really interesting game so far. I'm just happy to see football. As I was kind of blabbing about, but I'm just happy to see football back in general. Obviously, getting the chance to see my Commanders, take the field, and getting a chance to see them kind of work out some of the kinks, to see some of these new pieces that have joined on, kind of find some chemistry together and some cohesion, and kind of work through some of the schemes and the systems that are put in place. I'm expecting a huge, really productive season out of this team. I absolutely am, based on what we did last year as a team. So 3rd and 15 here in the first quarter, 3:22 to go. Commanders with the ball. Aired out, picked off. Jeez Louise. Oh, there's a pick. And so, yeah, I'm expecting big things out of the team, man. I don't see why, we can't improve on, what happened last year. There's a lot of folks that, kind of said, like, there's a lot of, film now that teams have to kind of key in on Jaden, and, you know what I mean? Like, to key in on what the team is doing, what our tendencies are, our habits, the things that we function off of in terms of strengths. But I don't necessarily believe in that, because I feel like, there's film on every team, you know what I'm saying, every year, and that doesn't stop teams from either, being, good or being bad at what they do. And I think that what Jaden was able to do last year, he'll obviously be able to build upon. You know what I mean? The kids are going to get better and better. Obviously, Terry McLaurin was a huge part of, what Jaden was able to do from a standpoint of, being a gunslinger last year. But man, Jaden had a very productive year. As a matter of fact, I have some graphics here that I kind of wanted to get into. Just like as a rookie or in his rookie campaign, you know what I mean? Like, this dude, man, had just an outstanding year in terms of wins. And so this is, all-time rookie ranks, including the playoffs. Jaden tied Ben Roethlisberger with 14 wins total last season. Total touchdowns, 37. So he's first, all-time rookie rank of first. And total yards, 5,416, both passing and rushing in the playoffs and regular season. So, you know what I mean? Like, those, give him first place ranking. So he had a legendary and a historic rookie season and rookie campaign. So I'm expecting him, like I said, to improve on that. Man, I don't see why he won't and why he couldn't. But again, Terry McLaurin obviously plays a huge part because he played a huge part in Jaden's success last season. So I don't think that they won't get a deal done. Obviously, it's just going to kind of take some more maneuvering and kind of figuring out the specifics around that deal. I think that's, for the most part, what is the holdup. And that's even, from what I'm hearing from the insiders and reports, from those who are a bit closer to the situation than I am, or that we are, from a fan perspective. But yeah, I think that when they figure out some of these, some of the more specifics in terms of the guaranteed money and stuff like that, then they'll get a deal done for him. They're certainly not going to trade Terry McLaurin at this stage. Like, he's under contract for another season. So worst case scenario, he's going to finish out the rest of his contract this season, and he'll just be a bit disgruntled in doing so. And but yeah, I think they know better than to get rid of him. It's kind of the nuances of the business and kind of what comes along with it, man. So first quarter, 3 minutes, 12 seconds to go. New England's with the ball again. The Commanders able to stuff the run on that one. Pick up of maybe about 1 yard. New England is up 14 donut, as the score on the screen indicates. Man, it's going to be a long game if this is to be the case. I'm expecting the Commanders to scratch at some point here soon. And again, this is just an opportunity in the preseason to, give some of the players who are looking to make a roster spot, the space to kind of show what they can do, how they can fit inside of the system, etc. what kind of value they can bring to the team overall. So, that's mostly what I'm looking for here. Week one, you'll catch a utterly and completely different energy from me. You know what I mean? I'll be here playing the cheer song and everything. You know what I mean? But for now, this is just a welcome back, man, to the NFL. It's preseason, albeit, but I'm excited. 1st and 10 for New England here. Man, they are in the red zone again. Looks like they're about to go up 3 scores on us, which is ridiculous. But it is what it is. Again, this is just preseason. I actually expect New England to, make a bit more noise this year. With Mike Vrabel out there, man, with them as coach, bringing in kind of that old school New England culture, and you know what I mean, like kind of taking these young boys by like under his wing and kind of instilling a passion, into football. New England obviously has a very solid franchise, man, in terms of what they have been able to build over the years and things from that standpoint. So I'm not expecting them to stay down long. Big dog, what's good, brother? I'm expecting big things out of New England this year, man. They should definitely be much more competitive than they have been over the years. And you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it'll be to the tune of what they're doing out here to my Commanders right now in this preseason. But, if they're anything, remotely close, man, they're going to be a decent team. And, because I tuned in kind of late, man, I streamed a little bit later than I was initially expecting to. I'm not even sure if New England, I know Jake May was out there a minute ago, but I'm not sure what that meant for the rest of their offensive core. If they started their starters, or you know what I mean, like kind of how that went. So if their starters were up against our, kind of second string, third string guys, and if that's the case, then okay. No wonder they went up 7 donut, like it is what it is. If we're down 14 donut, but I'm about to go up 3 scores now, man. So reserves on reserves. I know Jake May's out of the game. Nope, no sir, no sir. 3rd and goal for New England once again. Watch the bootleg, man. We had last time. Inside draw. We don't allow any of it. Quarterback keepers here. But yeah, man. So the one thing that I know for sure that I'm excited to see this year from the standpoint of the Commanders is whether or not we can actually stop the run. I think we need to get much better, especially with a powerhouse like Philadelphia in our division. And having to face them twice, but even just to get the hope of going deeper in the playoffs. Broken up here, so no score from a touchdown standpoint, but looks like the field goal unit is coming out for New England. But yeah, in order to advance deep in the playoffs, man, to even have hopes of potentially winning a Super Bowl, man, you got to be able to play defense. That's not only having a solid secondary, but you especially have to be able to stop the run. And man, we were shitty against the run last year, just terrible. The Commanders were. So 7 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Looks like New England's about to go up 17 donut. Field goal through and good. That's where we are, man. 5 seconds until halftime. It's looking like Sam Tain. I'm going to get this graphic updated for you here on screen. But yeah, so I'm most excited, like I said, man, to see kind of how the defense fares, for the team this year, and kind of see where we end up from a defensive standpoint relative to where we were last year. I think the secondary will still have its issues here and there until they kind of figure some things out, but nothing more interested in seeing than kind of how we fare against the run. 17 donut. Let me get this score updated here. They are kicking our ass, man. Something terrible right here in the preseason. Okay, let me get this. So yeah, approaching halftime here. It is 17 to donut score in New England. New England out here putting that work. And like I was saying, I don't know how much, credence I guess this will give to New England as a team coming into this NFL season. This as an indication, in the preseason, I've seen teams go undefeated in the preseason and they can't win a game. So it's not so much. I think anything in the preseason that's ever gotten me excited, it's always about what happens week one, and then moving forward when it really counts, and when you have your personnel, really. You have the personnel on court or on field, so when you have your whole team, injuries, etc., man, notwithstanding, but when you can get a better idea of who's who, that always bodes a little bit better for getting excited and puffing the chest out and talking shit, taking bets, etc. But yeah, right now, man, as I am updating the graphic, it is halftime. Actually, I did that wrong. Or was that the end of the first quarter? That's the end of the first quarter. It's not halftime yet. So end of the first quarter, man. 17 donut. They're dog walking my Commanders right now. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. We got the great Tom Brady on the broadcast right now. New England legend. But yeah, so the Commanders, like I said, man, made a lot of changes this season. I'm happy that we still have Kingsbury in the mix, and he didn't take a coaching job elsewhere, to still have Cliff in the mix, and everybody else, man. Obviously, DQ is going to do his thing, and he seemed to have the trust and the love of the players. So, that's a really good thing. I love the culture that they've been building in Washington. It's finally, being a Commanders fan and being a native Washingtonian. I've been waiting a long time. Obviously, I'll say we have been as a fan base for the team to get itself together. You know what I mean? And to have Snyder there for so long, playing fantasy football with the team. Just doing God knows what with the organization, as he saw fit, which is okay, I guess, because he owned the team. There's a stark, contrast between teams that are good and organizations that are being run properly and organizations that are not. And so finally, like we're able to see, signs that the organization is being handled, being like businesses being approached, from the front office, et cetera, and ownership, man, like it's a big deal, like it's serious, and like they want to win. And so that I can appreciate more than anything else. There's nothing like tuning in season after season after season, and looking for the team to do what the other teams are doing out here, man, and we're doing the opposite. You know what I mean? So, I forgot we picked up Michael Gallup as well. So that's good. I think Michael Gallup was out of football last season, if I recall correctly. Last played for the Cowgirls a few seasons ago, and had gone into retirement, but decided to come out of retirement this season. So hopefully Michael Gallup can be a valuable asset for us. So we'll see how that kind of plays out. Speaking of Michael Gallup, he just caught a first down pass, and they went back to him. I'm not even sure who this is at quarterback right now. But yeah, man, so I'm excited to just have football back. You know what I mean? I'm excited to have football back more over in DC. You know what I mean? Like, again, man, we just haven't had a lot to really be excited about and to cheer about, from the standpoint of being a, contending team, especially, the football, just being back is like, yeah, okay, cool. We'll get a chance to cheer for our squad, and we'll win some games and we'll lose some games, or as long as we beat Dallas, you know what I mean? Like, that was kind of the thing for years. But to have a revitalized franchise, to have, JD5 in the backfield, man, just with an incredible special, year that he had last season, and looking to build upon that. And with this new regime, coming in, even adding new players, et cetera, man, and just hoping to see kind of how they gel well and fit. It's gonna be an amazing season. And so I'm excited. I'll say that, 50 million more times here on the broadcast, as we go about. And yeah, man. So preseason football is underway. It's our first preseason game of this season, or this off season, leading into the season. And so again, a good opportunity to see some of the players who, are fighting for positions and, fighting to prove themselves. 4th and 4 here in the second quarter. Again, this punt unit coming out. Oh, shit, excuse me. Man. So I think, again, anything other than just kind of getting a chance to see some of these other players stretch out a bit, show us what they have to confirm. Yeah, that's a late hit, bro. That's ridiculous. Man's out of bounds, a whole step and a half out of bounds. But yeah, to see kind of what some of these other players who've been talked about a lot in the media, and there are quite a few, men who've been touted by the media for what they've been doing out here in training camp. And so mostly, for me in these situations, it's like I get a chance to, kind of get some confirmation on, some of the things that I've read or some of the things that I've heard, reported about these players. And so that's what the preseason is mostly all about for me. That I get a chance to re-engage with football, and get a chance to take in this energy and, kind of get ramped up for the NFL season coming back full on. I know that like I was saying, for the lives, especially for the lives, the one thing that I had not done is live football last season. I did some basketball, live, giving a live reaction. As you can see the score on screen, New England Patriots are up 17 donut. It is second quarter right now. 12 minutes and 52 seconds remain. But yeah, so I hadn't done any live streaming during the football to give reaction. So I just figured I would do so here for the first time in this preseason, just to get myself a feel for like kind of how this will flow, etc. And to get myself ready for the NFL season upcoming. When the season starts, I'll probably bring on a couple of the homies, man, to to kick it. I'll try to find actually a fan of some opposing team, the opposing team that we're going to play, or a fan of the team that I'm going to go live, because it won't just necessarily be Commanders games. There'll be some Monday night games. There'll be some Sunday night games that are just exciting games of the week, and that'll be worth, kind of going live throughout, because, or just by sheer, virtue of the actual matchups. So when I do that, I'll try to grab one of the fellas. I feel like I talk about the fellas from group chat so much that I made them legendary without faces. So I'll pull some of them on as they're fans of, the varying teams, man. I got Rams fans in there. I got San Francisco fans, Dallas, Green Bay. You know what I mean? Like, so the brothers love who they love. Might pull my man Jay on. He's a fan of Switzerland, fan of not being a fan of anybody. And so after riding the wave of Switzerland myself for many years, because the Commanders were just fucking trash. And, I would get with the fellas on Sundays, man, and watch games. But for the most part, it was like, I wasn't expecting anything from our team. It was what it was. If we were televised, I live out here in Arizona now, so if we were televised out here, even, I was shocked. You know what I mean? But it's a new day, and so Yeah, man. I turned in my Switzerland passport, and you know what I mean. I'm out here, man. You know what I mean, like flying high again. So I was talking about Jaden Daniels and the year that he had. I want to compare and just show a graphic here really quick, man, of Jaden and you know, him being a 4,000 yard passer, 4,000 plus yards passing, and 1,000 yards rushing in a season. And this includes both the regular and postseason, but it was NFL history, man. So he put up comparable numbers to the legendary Lamar or legendary numbers next to MVP, former NFL MVP and a MVP caliber player, and Lamar Jackson. So these are MVP caliber numbers, man. As far as I'm concerned, nobody can tell me otherwise. In the 2024 season, he put up some 210 less passing yards, 211 less passing yards than Lamar, and you know what I mean, 9 less rushing yards, 12 less less overall touchdowns. But you know what I mean, that's Lamar hitting the end zone. You know what I mean, as frequently as he does, man, with his legs too. But also being a gunslinger. So, yeah, pointing that out, man. I just wanted to kind of point that out in comparison because, you know, you have when you have a bona fide gunslinger, man, like a Jaden Daniels. I think that you know the justification for excitement from Commanders fans, you know, is incredibly valid. Any fear of a sophomore slump, I think, is foolishness. You know, a player is only going to be as good as the system that they're playing in, and obviously the personnel. You know what I mean? So, like I was saying, we added Debo as a weapon. You know what I mean? Like which as an offensive weapon, which is really good. For those who think, you know, obviously when I kind of posted it and got excited about the Debo pickup, you know, a lot of folks like, yeah, Debo's washed up and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's weird, you know what I mean, to say, or I guess it remains to be seen, you know what I mean? So I could kind of, I mean, naturally fly the Debo flag now because he's a Commanders player. But at the same time, like it remains to be seen, like what he's going to do out here from a production standpoint. But all reports from training camp have been, man, that Debo has looked like Debo. And so I'm excited to have Debo as a part of the fold, and that Jaden has, you know, Debo to lean on as another weapon. It will obviously make more of a benefit, or be more of a benefit to the team with Debo being present, with McLaurin, Zach Ertz obviously being at, you know, full strength at this age, and you know, bringing along, you know, the so Brian Robinson. Brian Robinson is cool. Austin Eckler's cool. We're hearing a lot about McCaffrey. You know, making great strides after being moved over to wide receiver. So making great strides this season. Think he'll probably be a threat in like slot action. You know what I mean, like slants and stuff like that with his size. And kind of just catching things underneath and then applying some speed. But what was I saying? What was I going to say? Oh, more than anything else, again, it's like the rookie additions. You know what I mean? So I love Brian Robinson. I like Austin Eckler's, you know, kind of ability to be able to catch in space and use his speed, his lateral quickness, etc. You know, but mostly I'm excited to see Ja'Cory Crosby-Merritt, aka Bill, you know, find a place in this offense and give us, you know, more explosive, you know, power runner. From what we've been able to see, kick is up, and it's good. New England goes up 20 to donut now, added an extra 3 points here in the second quarter. But yeah, so having Ja'Cory, aka Bill, you know, add to the offensive, you know, punch from the ground game side that you know, hopefully, man, will be that kind of missing ingredient for us. Like I said, for me, my thing is always just, you know, wanting the team that I root for and cheer for, man, to give some effort that looks, you know, similar, akin to what the best teams in the league are doing. And our ground game, man, has been trash. We were third in rushing last season, so that was a plus and a benefit, obviously. You know what I mean? But we can't live on what happened last season. It's a whole new season, man. So you have to be able to pound the ball in the NFL. So I always feel like, it's like kind of smash mouth football, man. If you can, keep pressure on the quarterback from a defensive standpoint, and then keep pressure on the opposing defenses and in the secondary, especially. But, but keep pressure on the opposing defense in this league, man, and you can really make some noise. And that's not to be just kind of one-dimensional and one-sided. So that's, you know what I mean? That's kind of where I'm at. NFL game streaming on NFLHD.com. All right, NFLHD.com. I wish I what up, Schneed? Yeah, I wish I could stream the actual game on screen without catching copyright, you know what I mean, flags, etc. But I don't think YouTube is that hip as of yet, and the NFL is that nice with what they will allow us to do, man. So for now, you're just gonna have to catch the updated graphic here, which I'm gonna update it. The New England Patriots are now kicking the Commanders' ass 20-2 donut. Adding 3 points here in the third. And so, or in the second quarter, rather. And so there's the updated score for you. Yeah, so like I said, man, it's exciting times, man, to have football back. I'm excited. My team's getting the shit beat out of them right now, but it's okay. It's just preseason. And I promise you, if the score was the opposite, I wouldn't be here like, yeah, we punishing them 20-0. It's just preseason, so it's not that big of a deal. Y'all see us? We up 20-0 on New England. Like it would be crazy to be that excited in the preseason. But I guarantee you, man, as the season plays on, and the team is doing what I expect them to do. Trust me, you'll catch that energy from me, and then some. So I'm gonna talk a lot of shit. I'm looking at my group text right now. The fellas are in here on my head. Yeah, so I thought the fellas were on my head in the group text, but they're not. They're talking about the parity in the league, and so that I kind of said that in the stream to begin with. Like, there's so much parity in the NFL this season, so I'm excited to see a really, really good season of football. I think that last season's matchups, man, week to week, there were some really, really good games to tune into. Doesn't matter who you're a fan of. I think more than anything else, I'm a fan of the sport itself. You know what I mean? Like, I'm Commanders through and through. Being a DC native, I can't help it. Like, that's the only football team I've ever rooted for. It's the only football team I'll ever root for. And if I'm not rooting for them, then I won't root for anybody. But I'm a fan of football, you know what I mean? Like, by and large. So, kind of the best way to explain this is, as I've said to people over the years, is, in the 90s, man, and we got to go all the way back to the 90s, of course, when the Cowboys were a contender. But, when they were winning, man, when they had Aikman, back there gunslinging, and, Emmett come out of the backfield, Moose, Jay Novacek, you know what I mean? Like Alvin Harper, Michael Irvin on the other side. Like, they were incredible. Offensive line and defensive line, secondary, they were top to bottom, just an incredible football team to watch. And so even though I'm a lifer, you know what I mean, in terms of Skins/Commanders now, you know what I mean? Like, I tuned in every week to watch those Cowboys play like everybody else did. You know what I mean? Like, it was amazing to watch. Like, they were just, that was football. You know what I mean? So, every season as time has gone on, doesn't matter who it has been, you know what I mean? Whether New England, whether it, you know what I mean? Like, ended up being Kansas City, kind of running the table in recent years. You know what I mean? Philly, obviously, last year, and, a few years ago as well. Like, it's it's enjoyable to me to just see good football played. So back to the parity, or I said that to talk about the parity in the NFL. Not sure who you're a fan of, man, but this NFL season, is really really exciting. Just and thoughts about the prospects of competition. Clearly, this is just preseason, so we haven't really seen the matchups just yet. But I think the outlook is really, really, really positive for and toward the idea of parity, and there being much, much, much more solid matchups this season in every division. You know what I mean? So I think there will be some sleepers. You know what I mean, coming up. Again, it's just preseason, so it's kind of hard to say, but I like what the direction, as well that like I mentioned for this New England team, and also because we got a chance to see them last night with the Raiders in Vegas. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of different things that are kind of shifting in the landscape of the NFL that I think, in terms of teams, that I think benefit the parity or the idea of parity. And so, yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to seeing, just kind of how things shape up. Some of the teams that were decent last year, that kind of came out of nowhere, I'm expecting to be even better this season, or at least still to put up a fight like they were last year. Should be great catch. Should be less of, I guess, an imbalance between like those at the top and, folks who just are running the table, a la Kansas City Chiefs the last, like few years or so. So I think you'll definitely see more teams, bringing it this season. And, when the dust all settles, trust and believe we'll see in my opinion, a new Super Bowl champion crowned at the end of this year. And don't be surprised if it's this squad right here. But yeah, we'll see how the season plays out, man. Excited to see it. 2nd and 10, 6:13 remaining here in the second quarter. The Commanders are down 20 to donut, so the graphic on screen is correct. Looking to add some points to the board finally. Approaching the red zone. Yeah, catching a lot of work underneath too, man, from this Washington offense. Yeah, as commentators saying, like, catching through contact, there's a lot of that's happening here. So they're not, just looking for the quick outs or deep outs. You know what I mean? Like getting in there, man, and getting underneath and taking your shots. Caught him. Oh, dropped it. Dang. That was a hell of a shot to take. 4th and 2. Take your shot at the end zone. I ain't mad at your DQ. Try some shit out. Oh, man, good defense. Broke that thing up at the up. Put it up there for life. Going for it, 4th and 2. Nope. Kicking it. Going to put some points on the board. So the Commanders down 20 donut here, lining up for a field goal. Adding some points to the board. Finally scratched. 20 to 3 is the score here in this one. Yeah, man, the Patriots are putting in work right now. Not necessarily. An indication of what's going to take place in the regular season for the Patriots. But, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, man, it's definitely something to hang their hat on. Feel good. I don't think that winning or losing rather. Losing can build character, but I don't think that winning in any capacity, can be frowned upon. Just say like, oh yeah, it's a win, but it's only in preseason. It is kind of weird. In reality, the things that you've been working on in training camp, you're finally able to put into play and put into practice here. Some of those things anyway. Get a chance to go at game speed, getting a chance to really, really hit guys. You know what I mean? So getting a chance to see what and how, the things that you've been working on in practice, man, like how they can actually play out in reality. So that can never be frowned upon as a bad thing. I don't think it can be downplayed either. So shout out to New England, man, who's putting in work right now. 20-3 is the score. Why as we wind down here in the first half, the Commanders at least got on the board, man. It was looking real weird for a while, looking crazy. So at least they scratched. We're able to put 3. We're able to actually move the ball a little bit better on this drive, on this most recent drive. And so I think, again, if there's anything to be excited about, it's that. It's, they kind of took the approach of going underneath on a lot of these, that as far as that possession, that offensive possession goes, and found some fluidity, if that is to make sense. So, yeah, a 20-3 game, man, here in this first preseason, this preseason opener. Commanders versus the New England Patriots. Whew.
I don't know if it's true or not, but Mike Vrabel's back in the house. Why not say Vrabel scored a touchdown? You need 2 Patriots. So yes. The question is 2 Patriots. So we're going Vrabel. I don't know if it's right, but I have no idea.
Yeah, let's see if even as I was talking about like the great return for the a couple special teams for New England is really exploiting this special teams of the Commanders. Man, I've had a blister on my finger for a couple weeks now. This thing is peeling. My bad. But yeah, great return, man. It's a 50, 60-yard return. What was that?
With this new dynamic kickoff, we're seeing running backs be more influential on these kickoff returns because it's all about seeing the gap. It's like being at the
man, you gotta hit a seam. That's it.
Making one cut and getting vertical. A great job right there by Antonio Gibson. Jeremy Springer fired up.
62 yards. It was 60 something. Jeez. Boys out there laying wood.
Looks like it's going to be on the defense.
Yeah, back that up. On defense, man. Holding on the defense.
5-yard penalty added on to the end of the run. Automatic. First
Dang.
down.
5 tacked on to the end of the run.
That's a small dude. Oh, not at all. That's a big, strong dude. You think they're laughing because Hader says, cool run, but I want 100 yards because I'm a little faster than you. Telling him right there. Henderson gabbing at him. He's explaining now. See, the kicker was right there, and the guy who came out of nowhere, what happened was.
Woo! Them boys out there hitting, man. Oh, helmet to helmet. And so, like I said, man, like that's the one thing about the preseason is like you finally get a chance to hit, man. Put them pads on and really get physical. And football is an incredibly physical sport, obviously. But that's what the preseason does, man. Gives these dudes a chance to really cut their teeth a little bit.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 39. Half the distance to the goal from the previous spot.
Damn.
Automatic first down.
This is easy. Oh wow, yeah, that was helmet. Holy shit. That was a hell of a hit though.
So right there, see right there, when he drops his helmet.
Yeah, this man dip.
Part of it that they're calling because it's that old school spirit we used to say from a health and safety standpoint for players out there on the field. That was Jeremy Reeves on the defense for the Commanders. You don't want to see that posture right there. Jalen Holt, the second-year guy, second-round pick from a year ago.
Yeah, it is what it is.
But that's what you have a 9-year-old son when you show him that you pause it, and when you see the helmet straight down like that.
Yeah, that man dipped his helmet too, though. So it's the same thing, man. So yes, Sneak, I don't know, man, that unless it happened, you know what I mean, like before I logged in or sometime since I've been logged in, I don't think that Terry has been extended just yet. What I was saying is that you know what I mean, like I think that it's a matter of kind of figuring out those specifics and those details, some of that guaranteed money, you know, how to get him as much money as they possibly can without feeling like they have to overpay him. You know, it's unfortunate, man. I don't necessarily you know, have all the details and stuff like that. Obviously, I'm going off of just what's been reported, but I don't think he's going anywhere. We clearly need him. Jaden needs him for his development. The team needs him to continue to build upon what they built upon last season, even if we're to be without him after this next off season comes up. You know what I mean? But DQ and the guys are able to put in more of their offensive identity and then just kind of put pieces into place. You know what I mean? From there. But yeah, Terry will definitely be a part of the team this season. You know what I mean? Like having a contract yet, notwithstanding, I don't think he's going anywhere. 4th and goal. Redskins look to stop the New England Patriots here from scoring again. Just over 3 minutes remaining. It is a decision to go for here on 4th down for New England, man. They're in the red zone. Might as well go for a 4th and goal, bro. Why not? What do you got to lose? I mean, they're doing whatever they want to the Commanders right now anyway. For the most part, Commanders loading up on this line here, about to bring it. Don't jump. Don't jump. Oh, you jumped. Or false start. I mean, delay game. Oh, okay, cool. Cool. New England just called a timeout here, so either they're going to decide to go for it or just go ahead and decide to line up and kick that thing, man. But what do they have to lose? It's preseason. You just kind of play, you know, these games don't really count for anything. So I am expecting them to go for it. Just to try it out, see where your team is, man, to see what you can you know, draw up and execute on, then build upon as the season goes on. I mean, like, you know, figure out some things about your personnel. You know, might be some things that you can do to build upon effectively as the season goes on. So why wouldn't you do that? You know what I'm saying? It's preseason, bro. That's where you kind of cut your teeth and, you know what I mean, like legit try some shit out. You know, just do anything out here. But yeah, 4th and goal. Commanders once again, man, goal line. A little pressure on the quarterback. Get his ass. Oh, y'all let that man walk in? That's crazy, bro. That's disgusting. I changed formation on defense. That's what I'm actually more curious about that. You should have sent the house. I would have expected that. So it was good coverage. But then there was no yeah, there was no downhill pressure for him, man. So 27-3 now. This is a utter and complete preseason massacre. Utter and complete. But it is what it is. 27-3. I wonder if that which game I'll keep streaming this one. When this one goes to halftime, I want to check the scores of actually, or tune in perhaps to the Browns game, or at least look at the scores. Since maybe he's not in the game now, but I know Shador was getting a start as it was reported in Cleveland. Just to check in and see how he, you know, fared with his opportunity. Young Mr. Shador Sanders, son of NFL great Deion Sanders, dual sport playing Deion Sanders too. I think that's one of the things that Deion probably rarely gets credit for, as I hear people talking about him, that this dude played professional football and baseball at the same time. He would helicopter away from games sometimes to to be present and participate in baseball, football kind of interchangeably. So it's crazy. And Dion was something else. Something of a specimen, man, from an athletic standpoint. Dude was incredible. But updated score here, man, 27-3. Yeah, the New England Patriots are putting in work against these Commanders. It is what it is. They are smashing us. Let me see. I'm gonna copy this link here. I know my man Sneed was out there. I'm gonna post in the chat. I'm gonna post in the chat the link to join. I'll post the chat. I mean, I post the link into the stream. Let's see if it upload. I don't know if it updated or not dynamically. But yeah, we're approaching halftime now. The team is getting smacked. They're getting slaughtered. But it is just preseason. No grounds for panic. 27-3. The New England Patriots are beating the stuffing out of the Commanders. 2:29 remaining here in the first half. 1st and 10. I was asking about the Browns game, Shador, to see, kind of how that was playing out. Let me look at some scores real quick. I can pull up ESPN really fast here. Cleveland is actually up 14-7. According to the headline, followed out Shador Sanders finds Caden Davis again for 2nd touchdown. So, man, Shador's got 2 touchdowns on board. Okay, Shador. He's doing his thing. There we go. That's all I need to see. It's 3rd quarter in that game. Just 2nd half just started or just underway. So, yeah, Shador's doing pretty good, man, for his in his first start. And, again, man, this is just preseason, so, nothing to really get overly excited about. But I think that, just as, Shador's doing well there in Cleveland or with Cleveland, you know what I mean? Like I said, man, it gives the young players an opportunity to kind of show what they got and that they could perform on this level. So I don't think that that's in question in terms of Shador's ability. I think the thing that mostly folks question is, his readiness and preparedness at this stage. And even if not this year, you know what I mean? I think Shador's going to make a very solid NFL quarterback, man, as time goes on. So glad he's actually having a good showing today. I think he keeps his turnovers down and, continues to do what Shador Sanders does, you know what I mean, then at least, he should get a nod as time goes on to, do more in practice, to, even get some time on field, should the old man, you know what I mean, like get hurt as the season goes on. Because I believe Joe Flacco is sitting at the top of their depth chart, and it's expected to be the starter out there in Cleveland. So, yeah, man, young Shador, seems to be doing pretty well. And so again, as we are watching this Commanders game here, and I'm talking about quarterbacks, obviously. So as a Commanders fan, and as I talk about the Commanders, I've been talking about Jaden Daniels earlier and just comparing his numbers to those of Lamar Jackson from last season. You know what I mean? So I put the graphic back here on screen so that you can see it, but nothing more impressive, I don't think, for this young man than, what he was able to do, in that regard. And I just did. Oh. In the standby mode. What is going on? Keep going, no standby. All right. There we go. My phone decided to take itself into standby mode here. Crazy. But yeah, still on a commercial break here for the game. But yeah, so I was talking about Shedeur, man, and I was talking about Shedeur Sanders, which brought me back to Jaden Daniels, and comparing, those numbers, man, of Jaden Daniels to those of Lamar Jackson, and talking about the weapons, man. So I now wanted to talk, as Sneed asked the question about Terry McLaurin. Terry's prowess as a wide receiver, man, is just, I mean, it is what it is. It speaks for itself. In the 2024 season, Terry broke the record for most touchdown receptions in franchise history with 13, surpassing a lot of Redskins / Commander greats, over time, and a very solid showing. So obviously that, speaks to his chemistry with young Jaden Daniels. Terry's been a consummate professional and just kind of doing his thing, man. So it is, it's definitely going to be a plus and a benefit for Jaden long term to have Terry, back there to sling the ball around too, man. So I'm hoping they'll sort things out, sooner than later, as it pertains to. I messed up my whole camera angle. My phone decided to take us over to standby mode. But yeah, so looks like the Commanders are definitely moving the ball now, taking more of an approach to going underneath here, as I was saying. That where they found the effectiveness doing so on the last drive. So now doing the same thing. Deep attempts down the side. But yeah, hopefully, a minute 10 remaining here in the second quarter. So hopefully the Commanders are at least able to put some more points on the board, man. on the board here. I'm not certain about what a comeback would look like here, but the second half will certainly be, more interesting to see with some kind of a comeback. But again, this is just preseason, man, so it's not like it's for any substantial, bearing or standing even in people's minds in terms of what the team is, or what the team could be, can be, won't be, will be. At least not for me anyway. I'm a pretty seasoned fan at this point, guys. Preseason is nothing to get up in arms about. But it is very good, man, to kind of just be able to sit and watch football again. You know what I mean? So I'll definitely say that. It's NFL game streaming. You are relentless, bro. I had to block that dude. He just keeps spamming my comments here. NFLHD.com. Sorry, bro. You out there. You're annoying. But yeah, clearly, man, if you're looking at the comments, the game is streaming on NFLHD.com. But yeah, so no dice there, man. The Commanders finding themselves, punting this one away. Touchback. 50 seconds remaining here in the first half. 27-3, so accurate score on the board here. New England is putting in work on the Commanders, beating the stuffing out of them in his first preseason game. I guess there has been a decent showing from some of the players, a lot for the teams to, kind of take away from it, to make improvements or things to improve upon. Probably a lot of positives for New England. Not certain all negatives for the Commanders so far. To kind of know what things to tighten up, man, what things, not who's going to work, who won't work. If you have players out of position, you know what I mean? Kind of how to show them, to improve at their position. Oh, come on, bro. Man, folded that up there. That was an interception waiting to happen. He's begging you guys to pick it off. So yeah, I'm again, man, just happy to be able to sit down and just like watch some football. You know what I mean? And the preseason for me doesn't really offer, meaningful football to watch. But so I'm always just happy to get through the preseason to get players to kind of work, some of the kinks out, knock the dust off, kick the tires on the vehicle a bit. And then we get into, the more meaningful football towards, or, once we launch into week 1, et cetera. Oh, you got there a little early, brother. But yeah, man, welcome back to the football season. I almost feel like, man, a child to a degree where I feel like this summer went so quickly. You know what I'm saying? It feels like, man, when I was in school back in the day, where I'd be like, damn, bro, it's like it's time to go back to school already. And this has been a really, really fast summer, which is a good thing, obviously, because, approaching now the second week of August, man, puts us about 3 weeks away from the NFL season kicking off. So 3 more weeks of preseason, blah, 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 in the media, wishing obviously the best of health for, all these players, man. Football's a contact sport. Any sport, like I said, man, is grueling on the body. And so with these guys ramping back up, man, I'm just, praying good health for everybody. It's not realistic to have a season where, you know what I mean, like there's 0 injuries for players, but you're definitely wishing them all the best, man, and wishing them health, especially through these, remaining practices and preseason games, so that, as many teams get started off on the right foot as possible. Because again, man, honestly, being a football fan in general, I always feel like just kind of trumps my love for any team in particular. I just like seeing good football. So even if my team ain't the best team, I mean, at least I can tune in and see some good football being played. You know what I mean? So I know that injuries always play a huge part in the success of teams by and large. So, and everybody's going to be nicked up and banged up at some point. And that just is what it is. But, getting started off on the right foot helps and speaks to that parity that I was talking about, which I believe the NFL will be chock full of parity this season. So a lot of enticing matchups, a lot of matchups that should prove to be pivotal in terms of the standings as the season plays on. And, you know what I mean? That will make the jockeying for playoff position and wild card standing, et cetera, man, just like much, much more that much more interesting as time goes on. So coming out the gate, man, I'm expecting, some critical matchups to be kind of upsets, you know what I mean, that will have some bearing on those future, playoff standings or the future games as we get into like the week 15, week 16, week 17 games. So yeah, man, for these teams, some teams, I guess, what happens in training camp, what then happens, or how that translates over into the preseason games, and then translates over into the regular season games. Speak to how quickly they get off to the races, and so being able to come out of the starting blocks in rhythm, in mode, picked it, dropped it. Jeez, bro. Come on, little Butterfingers. That's why you're a DB and not a wide receiver. Holy smokes. All right. Put that thing into the bread basket, man. What the? Oh, come on, kid. Yeah, you got to reel that in, man. Pull it on into the bread basket. Like, what's going on here? But yeah, I'm looking forward to, like I said, man, these teams getting off, like out of the starting blocks, like really, really early, and getting off to, a good start for teams that have very little expectations, meaning they could steal a win here, steal a win there in the first, 2-3 weeks of the season. Bodes well for them moving forward, man, because every win in the NFL is critical. You can really never, I mean, you just never know, you know what I mean? Like kind of how things are going to play out. Even the favorites, you don't know how the injuries are going to play out as the season goes on, and, how that's going to dictate, what happens for your team or to your team. And so, yeah, stealing a couple victories, for the underdog teams early, man, in the season it's a big deal. Um, Speaking of which, the Commanders face off against the Giants week 1. And so I was talking about, because I mentioned the Patriots, I think will be much better this season. I'm looking forward to seeing the Raiders also. But I think the Giants, flying under the radar in the NFC East, especially, are one of those teams where it's like, are you really expecting them to do anything? And, yeah, man, the young teams are always dangerous. You know what I'm saying? So, I love the kid Malik Neighbors. You know what I mean? Like that kid obviously is a beast. Jake got a chance to sling to this kid in college, man. But yeah, it's I don't think that any team, because these are professional athletes, and the saying, "Oh, yeah, he's under that man's arm." That's a pass interference, like all the way around the board. He was under this man's arm and then over the top. I was at a missed call. I was saying the saying "any given Sunday" is a real saying for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a real thing. But we're approaching, man, halftime here. That's it for the first half in this game. This first half has been long as shit, man. It feels like this should be the game. I think in the preseason they should probably just start playing one half. So would that be good for the teams to really be able to stretch out and get their issue, quote unquote? Maybe not. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it's like this first half seemed like a full game. I'm gonna jump over to the Cleveland game, man, real quick. I don't know if Shador is still in the game, but if he is, I probably should have switched over to this game like a little bit sooner. Just kind of steal some airtime with young Shador. But yeah, if he's not in the game at this point, that's cool. At the point that I given the update, they were up 14-7. Cleveland being up 14-7 at the time, and Shador had 2 touchdowns in the game. So it seemed like he's off to a good start. I could actually, while this commercial's on, I'm gonna look at his. I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna cheat forward while I wait on the broadcast to come back on. I'll just look at his stats. Still a 14-7 game. And keep going to the box score here. Oh, young Shador's the only quarterback who's been in so far, man. So 111 yards passed on 12 of 21. So, yeah, 12 of 21. That's a little over 50%. And we're 54. Is that like 56 something percent? And 111 yards in the air, 2 touchdowns. He has 103.5 passer rating. This commercial's taking so long here in this game. Oh, there we go. There you go. It's like, man, he's the longest commercial breaks in the world here. So Shador has been the only quarterback in the game for Cleveland today. So not just getting the start, like he's gotten to play. It is 7 minutes and 44 seconds remaining here in the third quarter in Carolina as Cleveland takes on Carolina, and the Cleveland defense, Cleveland secondary, man, with a pick. Shador's back onto the field, so I'll get a chance to take a look at young Shador. Let's go, Shador. 2 touchdowns so far, like I said, man, 12 of 21 passing and 111 passing yards. The 2 touchdowns is very impressive. 12 of 21 is not bad. Like I said, he's above 50%. I'm sure about 60%. He's doing pretty good. Man, I'm yawning. It's crazy because I slept in today too. So today was my super chill day for a Friday. I was like, no business, no work, no nothing. I stayed there working on graphics and playing around, doing some other things that I needed to do. So Shador on a bootleg. 2 touchdowns so far, like I said, man, 12 of 21 passing. And 111 passing yards. And the 2 touchdowns is very impressive. 12 of 21 is not bad. Like I said, he's above 50%. He's doing pretty good. Man, I'm yawning. It's crazy because I slept in today too. So today was my super chill day for a Friday. I was like, no business, no work, no nothing. I stayed there working on graphics and playing around, doing some other things that I needed to do. So Shador on a bootleg. Gotcha. See what the call is. No, it's coming back. But yeah, man. So football's back. Football's back. I will, like I said, more than likely, I'm not sure if I'll go live again for preseason football. The Skins got the Bengals coming up. Depends on what the Commanders do with their starters. Again, it depends on what the Commanders do with their starting lineups or with the lineups. If they're going to have the starters play, and, it's going to be meaningful. Shador, a great pass over the top. Found his tight end. Yeah, Shador looks good, man. Like Shador's a good quarterback. I would imagine that Cleveland would have signed this or drafted this kid if they weren't expecting to play him at some point. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of chatter in the news that Shador's being set up to fail, with him getting the opportunity to start here in this game, as though the expectation for him was to do bad. And I really didn't understand that myself personally. Regardless of, what that notion was, you know what I mean? Like that idea was, like, bro, I just blocked you and banned you. How'd you get back in here? Posing to my shit, idiot. Yeah, I didn't see it that way. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't see how him coming out here and performing in this game could have meant anything other than him getting a chance to showcase what he does. And because we've seen him, from HBCU to a major college program still do the same exact thing, I didn't feel like the NFL would be that huge of a transition in the jump, you know what I mean, for Shador and what he does from a skill set standpoint. So I'm glad that he's having a really good game so far. I get it, you know what I mean, as I've been saying throughout the stream, that this is just a preseason, so it's not a whole lot to get like overly excited about. You know what I mean? Like start Hall of Fame, predicting him and stuff like that. But I don't doubt that Shador Sanders will be a really good quarterback on this level. And he's showing that he obviously he's got the chops. And if you've watched him play college football, then you understand that this kid has the chops, man. He has the talent and the skill to play on this level. So finds a man in the flat, touchdown. Almost walked in there.
His shoulder right at the end, give it a couple extra yards, and every little inch matters when you're getting down here towards the goal line.
Oh, that's true. Browns with an opportunity on 3rd and 3 to get a first down here. Man, ball's on like the 6-yard line, so they can get a first and still, which they don't. The first down, still have 1st and goal. But yeah, he got stopped about a yard shot of running back, dude. It looks like they're either gonna. Oh, looks like Cleveland's gonna go for it here on 4. 4th and 2. So he was only able to pick up 1 yard on that. Yeah, butt naked bootleg or something. You know what I'm saying? Oh, easy money. Easy money. Cleveland scores on the handoff. 21-7, man. Cleveland up, or 20-7 as it stands until the extra point. So yeah, Cleveland's putting in work out here, man. And Shador looks good in leading the team. So yeah, excited for this young man. I am incredibly excited for him that he's having a good game, man. So And I know it's Friday, so now we get a whole weekend without the sports pundits being able to dominate, the conversation. Oh, it was good. That's why it looked like it was off. Um, but yeah, so a full weekend without the mainstream media being able to dominate, the headlines or to control the narrative around, Shador playing. As I feel like they've been, had the last couple of days or all week to pronounce gloom and doom or give this, kind of assumption that he would not play well and that he was under all this pressure, et cetera, et cetera. And so I'm glad to see that Shador's playing well because, and again, that the mainstream media has the weekend off and they're forced to just be up against the weekend because it gives the independent creators space to, kind of make good content about Shador and to brag about him and to praise him and to keep his name trending in the right direction before the ESPNs, FS1s, etc. Man, these idiots from CBS Sports and not just CBS Sports, and I kind of like some of their reporting, but most of the stuff on ESPN obviously is not palatable these days. But yeah, Shador gets a chance to have some good headlines, and some good narratives spoken about as it pertains to his name throughout the weekend, man. So that's pretty good. Maybe I'll do some Shador content to talk about, his production after this game. Even though, like I said, it is the preseason, so it's really nothing to get overly excited about, except for to say, man, like, yo, this kid played a really, really solid game. And yeah, so man, Shador content, I guess, coming here soon. Coming before the weekend is out, or at least just kind of give him some credit. Maybe I'll do a more of a recap of, kind of the games themselves and kind of some standouts, in those games. And try to get back to this Commanders game here really quick. As you see the score on screen, man, the Commanders getting the shit beat out of them at the half, 27-3. Deep in the third quarter, I just took a look into the Cleveland game, and Cleveland just went up 21-7 in that game. So let's see what other games are on here. So nothing else on just yet. Actually, let's go back to those scores. Let's see. The Detroit Lions are up actually 17-10 over the Falcons as well. So in the other game that is underway here on Friday night in the NFL. So man, full slate of games tomorrow. So many games on tomorrow for Saturday in the NFL. You got Chiefs Cardinals. First thing tomorrow, early game, Giants and the Bills. The Texans and the Vikings. Yeah, Steelers, Jags, Cowboys, Rams, Titans, Bucks, Jets, Packers, Broncos, Niners. So many games. Then on Sunday, like they put all the games on Saturday, and then Sunday, man, there's only 2 games on. You got the Dolphins and the Bears, which actually I actually want to see that Dolphins Bears game, and then Saints Chargers as well. Not so much. But yeah, I actually want to see. I don't know if Caleb's going to play or not. I actually am interested in seeing the Dolphins, though. Waiting, patiently, I guess, for that day when the Dolphins even turn the page. You know what I mean? Like, at what point will they, like, kind of level up a bit? And so.
Looks left, connects. That's David Moore, the veteran. Spins past Tony Brown, and a nice pickup at another Panthers first down. In the meantime, Shador Sanders. We'll see whether or not he gets another drive or not, or turns it over to Tyler Huntley. But your overall impressions and what it means for him moving forward. So he's checked all the boxes of the things that I wanted to see from him.
Turn this up some you out here.
His decision making, his timing.
Commentators on Shador right now.
Out of his hands. And then in the second half, they started out a little bit shaky.
14-23.
He was able to overcome adversity and utilize the Browns' interception to be able to work all the way down the field, grab some momentum, get some of those feel goods and those good vibes back, get into the end zone, and now he's back on track. Corner overshoots more. Good coverage again by Don.
14-23 on the day for young Shador Sanders, man. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, 138 yards passing. Shador had a great game. It was a great game. It was just preseason, of course, man, but a great game. Back to the Commanders game. Second half just underway. 14 minutes, 55 seconds remaining here. We're just kicking off.
Coach will say, hey, we thought this guy made a player throughout practices, but now you get out here under the lights and a guy starts to shine. This is where it's a job audition. The guys are going out there trying to make the team.
All right, let's go, Commanders. What y'all got here in the second half, man? Show me something. It's coming back.
We're going to have some motion here, I think. You know, the fact you were the 6th-round pick, you can't make fun of Devin for being like the 32nd pick that you're not really a first round. First, top of the second. 27. You were 27? 27. Who am I thinking of? It was all the way at the bottom of the first round still, but still, I waited around for a long time. I think Malcolm Brown might have been 32. I think Malcolm was illegal formation, offense. The wideout was covering up the tight end. It's a 5-yard penalty. It's first down.
Yeah, and these are the kinds of kinks that you have to work out, obviously, man, during preseason. It's formation stuff. It's timing. It's all these things, man. Just getting a chance to finally function under the whistle. Real game speed. This is why the report came out where there was a report that during training camp, Jay Daniels threw one of his teammates out of, you know what I mean, like off the field. Like, bro, you get off the field because, you know, we're not out here, you know, false starting, jumping off sides and like doing these things. Like, and this is about a supreme level of focus and, you know, the time for us to refine our focus. And, yeah, but preseason obviously offers that opportunity for them to get out here, make game speed full on, and get all these jitters out now, man. I mean, obviously it happens all season long when folks are jumping off sides and, you know, sometimes not just necessarily or being misaligned. You know, they're not even jumping off sides because that was an alignment or a formation issue there. Come on, bro, catch the ball, really. But yeah, the formation stuff should certainly not be happening. But that's the nature of the game, especially at this stage of trying to ramp up and get ready for the season. Defense, all right, good. 5-yard penalty, first down. Automatic first down. Let's go. All right, keep the drive going for us, New England.
Kobe Meyer with the call. You guys are defensive guys. Got to improve on those things from a year ago. Yeah, I mean, this is not a list that you want to be in the back third of the league and everything. Third down, rushing yards, playing like yards per game. You don't want to be there. So when you come in for Terrell Williams, you say, hey, we got to improve on everything. So this defense has a chance to keep talking about it. We said it earlier, being violent. It's going to be time to play together. And I do think one of the key things for them is Carlton Davis and Christian Gonzalez being healthy so this team can start to communicate, bond, and do all the things that they think they want to do as a defense. Because with those two guys out there, how much is Jabril Peppers playing the slot? Is it all just Marcus Jones? I think those things will need to be figured out.
Yeah, the Patriots are really excited, man, about Carlton Jones. And so again, as I was talking about the health earlier, man, like hopefully he does stay healthy. So that will bode well, obviously, you know, for them in their secondary. Oh, come on, bro. Is that Koski Merritt there?
I'm not sure that that's his style. I think he's more of a Belichick kind of a defender, a two-gap kind of a defender. They do have some openings on the edge. We haven't really talked a lot about Elijah Ponder tonight. He's a guy that kind of flashed a little bit in those joint practices. I want to see a little more of him. And seeing that if the draft pick Swinson, they have some openings in the depth spots on the edges. I want to see who wins them. 37.
Oh, that's a false start, look like. trapped it. Yeah, because it looked like he trapped it.
We talked to Vrabel the other day about challenges and who does it, where does he keep his challenge flag, and he kind of looked at us like, challenge? New England is challenging and ruling on the field of a challenge in the preseason, but he did say John Stryker is a guy he trusts in his ear when it's time to challenge. He listens to him. So we'll check and see what this ends up being. Vrabel with his first challenge in the preseason.
Yeah, looks like it was a trap. Yeah, so this game, you know, in particular, obviously, man, hasn't been very competitive. But the competitive angle notwithstanding, even as the commentators are saying, you know what I mean? Like, as I've said, gives the coaching staff, you know, some time to really get some film, to see some things, see the players did this thing well, or this player, you know, seemed to step up a little bit, which is, you know, a bit different from what has already been worked on in training camp. Or, you know, here's where we can kind of help this player improve on this. These are the kind of things we need you to understand and to see. So, you know, that's the benefit of preseason. Nobody ever won a Super Bowl in the preseason. It's not how it works. But yeah, man, getting us ramped up for this NFL season, you know, to come. One that I think is going to be amazing, very, very exciting. Remote here. Oh, the white looks like the blue one. See it? See that on the screen? That's all good. That looks like good. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. The oh wait, coming back from commercial now. Looks like he trapped it. Yeah, he trapped it. Oh, catch? What? Let me see.
I'm not sure he had such the ability to even take a look at that off replay. So to me, I think that replay had to come from sideline. Like, hey guys, it looked like that ball hit the ground. Now right there, looked like it hit the ground to me.
Yeah, it hit the ground. That's why I say he trapped that, but that's cool. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. Yeah, I'm really interested and curious to see like kind of how some of this new technology being used, where they're not bringing out the chains and stuff like that, man, doing these kind of I can't think of what they're calling them right now. I can't remember the specific terminology that they're giving to it, but I think it's going to be really interesting to see like kind of how some of those determine, calls this year, where they're just using the digital, markers and stuff like that, man, to just have the cameras let us know if folks have, secured the first downs or not. I think that most of that is probably just, kind of some technology with the ball, between the ball and whatever the markers are on the side of the screen. So know exactly where the ball ended up, spot notwithstanding, which is cool because I feel like a lot of times, obviously the referee is human and the refs are like kind of spotting the ball where maybe that wasn't where the ball ended up. So if that technology is, aligned specifically with the ball, then, you know what I mean? Like gives a chance for it to really matter, to really count. Could come down to a lot of controversy as the season plays out, though. You know what I'm saying? like, man, like, what do you mean, bro?
So, right there, it looks like we get about a yard discrepancy. It's going to be interesting how this thing goes this year. It really is. And it's funny because the camera's upstairs, but you saw the refs.
See, that's exactly what I was talking about.
Moving people over on the Washington sideline so they could get a clean shot. Okay. Here we go. We got our
Yeah, virtual measurement. That's what it is.
10 inches short.
The virtual measurement literally gets you down to be like 10 inches. 10 inches short. So no more chains like back in the day. You know what I mean? Now it's just this technology, man, to give these virtual measurements. And so I was literally just talking about that, and then we get a situation where it plays in. So way to come through, universe. You know what I mean? Like helping your mans out. 27-3 is the score here. The Commanders 2nd and 1. Third quarter, 12 minutes and 20 seconds and counting. Here in the third quarter, Commanders trying to get on the board. It's been a, you know what I mean, like game here so far. Good bounce to the outside kid. Ooh, that shoulder down. Good run from McNichols there. Yeah, bounce that thing to the outside, man. Working the edge. That's cool. That's good running right there. Ooh, good catch. Yeah, it's a catch. Good catch. Mike, you sit down somewhere. It's the preseason, bro. Relax. Mike out here trying to make sure he keep his foot on the Commander's neck. Stretched out for it. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right on the top of the ground. No catch on that one. But, yeah, man, so, again, I will, I think I was saying about the live. So, I'm not sure if I'll do so through the remainder of the preseason, but for certain, you know what I mean? Like, I'll schedule them out. I'll post about, you know, kind of how the live schedule is going to go. What games I might broadcast live during to kick the season off. You know, I'll reach out to, you know, a couple of, you know, my buddies who are content creators also, man, to get them to collab on some live streams. So we'll get it going that way, man, and see how we can make the streams more entertaining for you guys. And push it. Okay. Oh, yeah, finally got him out of there. Funny. But yeah, how to make the streams more entertaining for you guys. I'll definitely make sure that I try to keep it as interesting as possible. You want to do it because I already did it. Why is that? You're already blocked. You guys finally get to go through. But yeah, how to make these streams, man, as interesting as possible and as entertaining as possible. So, you know, stream's just a stream until I figure it out anyway. You know, how to stream on screen without catching copyright. I know that having some of the volume from the game, you know what I mean, like it's okay because I never ran into any issue with that during the basketball season. But yeah, to be able to show, you know, the actual game on screen, it would be so much better. So then you could see what we were talking about and wouldn't necessarily have to just kind of take my word for it. But here in the third quarter, man, in this Patriots versus Commanders game, present score is 27-3. A little over 11 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. The Patriots, as you can see, are beating the shit out of the Commanders in this preseason game. This game is what it is. 11 minutes, 29 seconds to be exact. 2nd and 10 for the Commanders. Looking to extend this drive. Extending the drive right down to the 2-yard line. One hell of a catch, one hell of a pass. Wow. Challenge that one, Vrabel. Oh, wow. Was that a tight end? All right, man. Finally, the Commanders scratch, man. Touchdown there. And yeah, man. So the Commanders will get on board finally. And I don't know who that was. Was that Cager? Who was that, man? A tight end? That was McNichols on the score. But I mean, the tight end or the receiver that caught the pass. So it looks like they're going for 2. So the Commanders are testing out, 2-point conversion, plays. Oh, nice. Well, there we go. There you have it, man. Just like that, the Commanders put 8 points on the board. 11-27 is the score. I will update the score here on the screen. Yeah, man, it's been something. So, yeah, the Commanders get on board here. My apologies. I'm responding to foolery in the group chat. They are, at this point, celebrating young Shador as well. And, man, super happy for Shador tonight, man. I'm super honest in that regard. Like I said, it's just, at the end of the day, I'm a sports fan. But at the same time, I'm a fan of, I like to believe, man, that I'm a fan of, like, the little guy, the underdog, the motherfucker being dragged for no reason. Even though you know what I mean? Like, we'll do a whole bunch of dragging on the channel myself for motherfuckers when it's warranted. I've been accused of running a LeBron James hate page, which I do not. I have my fair share of videos about all kinds of shit, but I like to tell the truth about, you know what I mean, like what I'm seeing. And I don't like it when people over dramatize things that are not, trying to make something out of something that is not, exactly what it is. I certainly don't like the whipping that Shador Sanders has been taking in the media, even though I haven't done any content in that regard. But, I personally did not question Shador's ability. But I had no basis, to go off of aside from this first preseason game, man, where I can, say, see, you know what I mean? So I know that it's just a preseason. And so it's just kind of hard to base anything or hang your hat on the preseason, solely and completely. And so without necessarily doing that, I think that this is enough of a sample size to say, man, the kid had a good game. And, you know what I mean? Y'all ease up some, man. So there we go. There you have it here in the third quarter. The Commanders are now trailing 11-27 to the New England Patriots. And, yeah, man, just do a little maintenance here in my back office. But, yeah, a fairly, humdrum, ho-hum game to this point. But getting a chance to see whatever it is that we can see now. It's a 4-quarter game for a reason, albeit preseason. And maybe we'll get a comeback here from the second string, third string guys who are looking to try to, get themselves a job, man, or at least get into the good graces of the organization to earn a spot on the practice units or whatever it is. Here moving forward. So we'll see, get a chance to see some breakout star or something. That's what the preseason is all about, really and truly. So trailing by 16 points here in the game now are the Commanders. They were just down 24 in the drop. 2nd and 10. 10 and a half minutes, a little over 10 and a half minutes to go here in the third quarter. 2nd and 10 for New England.
Going back to the middle of the field, we can see it a little bit better. So, with the quarterback in charge, set the offense, the line communicates it, and then they go run the play. So, really excited for Drake to have that opportunity this year. One more for me, Brian, as Ben Woolridge is now in at quarterback. Dobbs is done.
Yeah, Drake May should have a really decent season this year, man. I'm expecting him to have a really decent season. There was a question posed that was, who are you looking to make the biggest, or who was expected to make the biggest leap, this season, Drake May or Jaden Daniels? And clearly Drake has to make, well, I would assume that Drake's going to make a jump, and a leap this season. But the even bigger leap, obviously, for me would be that of Jaden Daniels, because I just think that he's going to improve on, from a skill set standpoint, what he did last year. Will that naturally lead into production? Like, maybe yes, maybe no. But I'm leaning, closer towards yes, it will. I like that this kid is poised enough to stay contained. You know what I mean? Like to stay inside of the flow of the offense, and that he doesn't try to do too much. At least he did not do so last year. What he does this year, obviously, is remains to be seen, because it hasn't happened yet. But again, I'm just basing this off of what Jaden Daniels did last year, that I'm expecting him to build upon the good habits from last year. And obviously, the skill set, he's added strength, he's added mobility, you know what I mean, like more. I think that he's still at the height of his, being quick, and, only add more to his, what seemed to be refined skill set from last season as a rookie. And so, obviously you can only add more to that toolkit of his to improve as a quarterback in this league. So that's what I'm looking forward to more than anything else. So the upside nod I would give in this case to my guy over anything else. But I was saying, I mentioned the question, and the question that was posed was, who's primed for a bigger leap, Jaden or Drake? And one of the notable things, obviously, is that Jaden Daniels had the most rushing yards by a rookie of all time in the regular season. You know what I mean? So he had just a legendary year last year. Do I expect him to have more yards rushing this year? I think so. I think he'll stay somewhere around a relative amount. I don't see him taking more of an opportunity to run the ball this season, where he doesn't have to. But I think that the offense will be so fluid that he'll be put into a position where he can break a few more with the respect to the other weapons offensively. Like, once we get Terry back under contract, and clearly haven't brought in Debo, and Crosby Merritt emerging, Brandon Robinson and some of these other guys. So Austin Eckler's and the like. So I just think that the defenses will have to play us honest. So obviously that gives and will bode well for Jaden to be able to scramble a little bit more and kind of take advantage of what he sees in front of him. I love his vision, and like I said, just how contained and poised he plays. So to be able to kind of survey the field and know when to break, and not just to resort to running just for no reason. You know what I mean? It's like kind of the feather for him that I like. And from the standpoint of, just being a gunslinger, man. Over 4,000 yards, overall offense, or 4,000 yards passing last season. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy, man. So between the regular season and the postseason, so to have that level of production, man, that's definitely exciting for me. I'm looking forward to this kid, like I said, is coming out and having a much improved year. And to say a much improved year with, given the numbers that he was able to put up last season, is actually kind of scary to think about. You know what I mean? Like, it's scary in a good way. To think about, man, that this dude could just come out and shatter some NFL records and kind of, in so doing, put this team in a position to really be, kind of stand alone in terms of record and prowess. So, yeah, man, let's hope for an even better year for Jaden Daniels, you know what I mean, coming up here this season. Because like I said, then it would just bode well for him. Breaking records, setting records, and obviously for the team's success overall. But here in the third quarter, man, 9 minutes, 39 seconds and counting. 1st and 10 for the Commanders. Just taking back over on the offensive end. Really fucking weird draw. A little weird sound to call a draw. But yeah, 11 to 27 is the score here in this game. And like I said, it hasn't been a very, exciting contest to watch. But, you know what I mean? Such is life here in the preseason when you're just kind of looking to examine personnel and, kind of see how players fit. I swear it feels like to me that right tackle was like offsides every single time, bro. False starting. Like every single time. This kid's just moving early. The refs aren't calling it, but it just feels to me like he just keeps jerking. But like I said, just to be able to observe the personnel and to get a look at, like some of these kids who you otherwise wouldn't get a chance to, take a look at is really fun for the preseason. So yeah, bro, I swear this dude is false starting every time. Oh man, Pitt. And that's not even on the quarterback there. Yep, deflection. But that sucks. Oh yeah, man. Come on, brother.
So it's a little wide. It comes off the hands of Polk. Johnny on the spot catches that ball, and then you would like to see him get to the end zone, but he made it happen a little bit. Looking to the people in the crowd, telling you see me. Playing like that, they're playing man-to-man in a slot.
Interception for the New England secondary. 1st and 10 from the 21. Here goes New England looking to add more points to the board. No, sir, deflection. Ball deflected at the line. Incomplete pass. So, like I said, man, this hasn't been a very exciting contest. It's, so it is what it is. It's just preseason. We'll certainly bring on the new season, man. Tell me who your teams are, man. Who's your mob? Who you like? Who don't you like? Who you want to see crash and burn? You hate the Cowboys too? I don't necessarily hate the Cowboys. I love talking shit to the homies who are Cowboys fans. Cowboys are like the Lakers are the Cowboys of the NBA, and the Cowboys are the Lakers of the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Like every year, these are just unrealistic expectations, or just like all these undue expectations heaped upon them. You know what I mean? The darlings of the media, always being spoken of, always being talked about, always being bragged about. Overly inflated. You know what I mean? Like,
broke the neutral zone, so you have the ability to move all the way around. Neutral zone infraction, defense number 59. 5-yard penalty, still down. You're right, so I used to love that. That would happen in practice, and the offensive lineman wouldn't move, and then Bill would like rip the offensive line in the meeting room for not moving and drawing the penalties. And the next time it happened, the guy would have this delayed reaction and then still be false start, so they get ripped even more the next time. So good job right there by Conley. Those stores are tough, man. Everything's condensed down there. Brian, what are you looking for to do if you're Wooldridge here? Yeah, look, you said it. Everything's condensed down here, so it's going to be quicker throws. The defense is going to be on the receivers quicker.
4th and 1.
You could get a max pressure. We've seen that a few times tonight. One time.
4th and 1 for New England here. Looks like they're going to go for why not? Oh, 3rd and 1, I'm sorry. Yeah, third and 1 because it was a penalty. Oh, 4th and 1. Oh, it is 4th and 1. All right, better formation, man. Better stance. Let's get back there. Get some pressure on that young man. No, sir. Oh, good pass. And a touchdown. And there you are. 7 more points on the board for New England. Yeah, a little rub underneath. That was pretty. That was a pretty play there. I must admit, it was a duck. I think his arm got tapped, but it was a good play. (34-11) is a score, man. I will update the graphic here. We're in the 3rd quarter. Watching a preseason snooze fest. But preseason football, nevertheless, or football in general, nevertheless, really excited to have football back. I think I've said that legit a million times on the stream. I'm going to update the score here real quick. But yeah, I was talking about, before I started watching that play where New England got the interception on a deflected pass, and then essentially waltzed into the end zone because they were in scoring position to do so. But I was talking about the teams that you guys like, teams that you dislike. And I mentioned the Cowboys. But yeah, who's your NFL team? Do you have an NFL team? Does it matter to you what these teams do in the NFL? Are you a fan? Are you not a fan? Are you excited that the season is returning? Are you hopeful for a good season? Do you think there will be as much parity in this NFL as I do? You know what I mean? From a competitive standpoint. There's the updated score, 11-34 here at the present. Let's get back to the action. 6 minutes, 27 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter.
Substitution, offense, 12 players breaking the huddle. 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, illegal substitution.
All right, here's your corner. And so you said it. At the very top, we're talking about Christian Gonzalez, who's probably a top 3 to 5 corner in the entire National Football League. And then Carlton Davis comes over from the Detroit Lions. The rest of these guys, you're trying to figure out exactly where you fit. We talked about a guy like Alex Austin, who started out this game, the versatility he's gained, playing inside, playing outside. We talked about DJ James, who has showed up and made plays for our training camp.
Oh, wait, hold the edge, bro.
So these are the opportunities for these guys.
Good stuff. Good block. That's probably one of my least favorite plays in the NFL is that wide receiver screen. I hate that fucking play. But a 7-yard gain on the play for the Commanders. A little under 6 minutes to play here in the third quarter, man. 34-11. The score is accurate on screen. Oh man, good run from was that McConnell? What was his name? Oh no, this is somebody else in the game. Three stiff arms. Who that was up? He needs to run to the outside. Very strong with the stiff arms to get the first down. 1st and 10 for the Commanders. 34 to Lamb. Is the SCO at the present.
That's what you want. I remember playing here a few years ago, and we were pretty small that corner, and it was tough. If you're going to play against some of those bigger receivers throughout the NFL, you want to be able to match up, even if they have 2 or 3 different guys that they can put out there. Yeah, guys, I would say Austin has been the one that really stood out during camp. I think we've seen a little bit of him tonight, inside and outside, as they said. But still another job. As I said,
oh, come on. You guys got to catch these balls. We'll take the penalty. But where that ball touches your hands, man, you got to reel that in.
we've seen him even play a little bit on the back end at safety here. We got a flag here on this play. It's going to be a personal foul, I think.
Of course, it's going to be a personal foul.
Took 2 steps. It's a late hit to the chest. Could have been avoided. Yeah, as they get it unfolded, unsorted here, I would just say pass interference to me like they're going a little bit more safety heavy.
Pass interference on the offense. Wow.
To get the space in between it was a push off. The ball was not caught, but then you had a 2-step late hit after that. Thought they were going to get him on the back end of the late hit. Not the case. Here's the push off. You're seeing the arm extended. But this is what you're talking about, right there. Oh, that's clean. And that's the shoulder. And that's what Vrabel's yelled at the back jersey jump. A good job hitting him in the chest with the shoulder. We're talking about the 3 safety looks, early.
So whoever this tight end is, number 89, it said Cager. This kid's got good speed as a tight end. He's finding really good. With the exception of that slight push off there on that play, he seems to be finding good spacing and finding good spots in the coverage. Speedy through.
Receivers on the field, because if you think back to Detroit, where Terrell Williams came from, Brian Branch, another safety, played a lot of time in the slot, playing that nickel position. So I wouldn't be surprised to see if Jabril Peppers playing that nickel position for the
Man, it's preseason. I'll be going for everything. 34-11 is the score here. 3:42 remaining, man. Turnover on downs. The Commanders are punting the ball away to the New England Patriots. It is a slaughter fest so far. Touchback. First and 10, 3 minutes, 34 seconds remaining. Staying true to it. The game's been a blowout the whole way. I tuned in a bit late. It was already 7 donut, and it just didn't get any better from there. I'm going to stick through it with the live stream again. I just wanted to go live to kind of kick the tires on, the process and just to do it, just to kind of talk through some of the things that I'm seeing here as the game goes on. No real huge takeaways, from what I'm seeing. It was good to see put visuals on. Some of the players that I've heard raved about in reports through training camp. But yeah, I wasn't really expecting to see, much here that, would give me any inclination of kind of what the season is going to look like for the team, especially with the starters not playing. On either side, offensive or defensive. So, just good chance to take a look at some of the other personnel. And the rest is just preseason football. So happy to have football back more than anything. You know what I mean? But like I said, it hasn't been a very competitive game, which is to be expected. But yeah, it's been good to watch some football more than anything else. Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he got away with the push on a drag, but you know what I mean? Like the tight end for the Commanders didn't. For a few possessions, or the last possession, but it's cool. I understand it. It is what it is. Oh, you got him in the flat. Easy money. Easy money. Easy money. But instead he lowers his shoulder and finishes the run. That's the attitude of it. Is that Stephon Diggs on the sideline? The bucket hat getting his guys going. And that's what you love to see from a football team in the preseason. A guy like Stephon Diggs. 3rd and 3. Underneath. Man. Very soft zone, man. Ooh, buddy. You're not going to earn a job like that, kid. Very soft coverage. It's one-on-one. That's man on man there. So yesterday we asked who's the funniest rookie, and right away Kyle Williams told us Jeremiah Webb. Jeremiah Webb said it's not all jokes. Man. Yeah, so all right, about a 20, 30-yard scamper for New England back in the red zone for them, and ball's on the 14-yard line. New England's looking to score again here at the end of the 3rd quarter. Man, right up the middle. It's time for another 8 yards. Penalty on the play. So might be coming back. Holding. Back it up. Back that thing up to the 24. I think the team is going to hear a lot about this, though, because you can tell at the half, Vrabel said, it hasn't all been perfect. We've had 2 penalties, but we got lucky because they've been offsetting. In the second half, they picked up more penalties, and they felt the pain of those penalties in the second half. And I feel like this is going to be where Vrabel starts tomorrow, and that team meeting room can't go backwards. That's second penalty, too, that is accepted against the team. We got a player nicked up in the secondary here for Commanders. You can see he's up on his own, under his own power, making his way to the sideline. Yeah, 35 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter, man. 34-11. This game is a fucking slaughter, but it is the preseason. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. New England on top, 34-11. They've been in control for the whole game. It is, like I said, been good to kind of just watch some football. What happens from here? 1st and 20 for New England. Ball's on the 24-yard line, so. Wow. Another one of those screens. That was about 22-yard pickup there. 1st and goal for New England. Yeah, Chisholm looked good out there. End of the third quarter, 34-11. New England's about to score right here at the top of the fourth quarter, man. So again, it's preseason football. Shout out to Shedeur Sanders. Yeah, I was kind of reporting at the half. I went in and looked at some of the Cleveland game, and Shedeur had a very good game, very solid game today. 2 touchdowns. I think it was like 21 of 30 or 20. I can't remember what it was now. 23 of 28 from the field, or no, some shit. I can't remember. Let me stop trying to remember it, but really decent, pass percentage today for Shedeur. Nearly 140 yards passing, so he had a really good game. But I am kind of streaming live clearly from this Commanders and New England game, Patriots game. It has been all New England all game long. And like I said, being preseason gave just the opportunity to kind of look at some of the personnel, some of the other second string, third string guys who have been raved about and or through the training camp, and to kind of see some of the things that they could do or what they could offer to the team. Which I mean, there have been some bright spots on. Can't pronounce gloom and doom over all of it. And the game in and of itself is a game. You know what I'm saying? So even if the score was the opposite, where my Redskins, aka Commanders, were up right now 34-11, I wouldn't be like, yeah, man. I mean, this shows me proof that this is what we're going to be. This that wouldn't matter because it's just preseason. And so we know how that goes with starters, playing limited minutes, or what I mean, all your key guys, some playing, some not playing at all. So it is what it is. But like I said, man, it's just been good to sit and watch some football, to get back into that frame of mind and thoughts around football, to rekindle that dormant love for football. As the game has been away since Super Bowl weekend, and now to have it back, man, it's definitely a good thing. It is 34-11 here at the start of the fourth quarter. Ball's on about the 4-yard line. New England is all but primed to walk this thing in here again to extend this lead a little bit farther. Stretching it out down to the 1. Second and goal from the 1-yard line. Fourth quarter just getting underway. Like I said, man, it's been all New England in this game. So I'm certain New England is definitely, after the joint practices, won't necessarily say that those have benefited them in their play for this game, but I'm certain from training camp to that joint practice to getting a chance to come out here and do and execute on, some of the things that they, hadn't been able to, definitely is feel good for them. For the Commanders, this will be good for us to take the film back, do the film work, film study, to show guys themselves in game situations, and you know what I mean, to help spark some improvements. Beyond that, also now from this being the first preseason game, getting us into the next, we kind of get this real deal. I think it's not until not this Monday, but next Monday we face off against the Bengals, so we essentially get a full week off. But it gives some specific touchdown for the Patriots. It gives essentially some of that, focus, preparation that's going to come in with that, the next opponent upcoming. So it should be really interesting to see kind of what happens moving forward in this next game. I'm going to update the score here. updating the score for you real quick. My bad. Here in the fourth quarter, man. Now a 30-point stretch. Yeah, if this was a regular season, obviously this would be, quite concerning. But I'm wondering what kind of an approach actually DQ is going to take, with the team coming up. You know what I mean? I have to just think back to the days of playing sports, man. Exhibition games and stuff like that. I remember having some coaches that we go play, exhibition games and scrimmages like against certain teams, man, and the coach would be still so intense, bro. Like all the games matter. You know what I mean? Like every single, like in one of them, we got out here and laced them up, man, to play like, bro, we came to win. And that kind of helped to shape my mentality around a whole bunch of things that I'm doing, man. Some really dope coaches. So from a standpoint of mindset, mentality, how you approach things, man, it's been it was just interesting. So I almost wonder how DQ is going to approach and how the coaching staff will approach this Commanders preseason game. Is it being the first or on some keep your head up, guys, or is it going to be on some, man, what the fuck we out there doing? You know what I mean? When it comes down to film study and breaking that stuff down. So, man, you guys are relentless. You're just going to keep on coming here spamming my shit, huh? These NFL bots, man, are crazy. Spamming my stuff the whole time today. Like, keep doing it. But yeah, I'm gonna get the score updated here, man, on screen for y'all. And yeah, man, I'll report on kind of real time what's happening in this game. That it matters, but as you can see on the screen, man, the New England Patriots are up now 41-11. You know, man. Yeah, it is what it is. Wait, my bad. All right, here we are. All right, man. Let's see what these young Commanders have in store here, man. It'd be good to see a glimpse of what somebody has to give. Or, you know what I mean? Catch a visual of somebody who might be flying under the radar. 41-11 in this game. It might be the biggest blowout we've seen in the preseason so far. Yeah, you can't be doing all that dancing as a running back. So one thing about, it's not all running backs, but I totally hate a dancer. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, you're going to get the ball out of that backfield, you got to hit the hole, man, hard. Even if, the hole collapses to a degree, you can't hit the A or the B. You got to be sure about wherever you're going. You know what I mean? If there is no gap, try to create a gap. I just don't like all the dancing around and shit. That shit's really pissing me off. You know what it is. We were like 9-point favorites, so there was a lot of trash talk in the building, but we just show up and go produce. So our guys were motivated, did a great job kind of being locked in, and had a couple guys making huge plays for us. So Coach Vrabel said you had a real draft. There was, head to head, bang bang. Who was the first pick? Drake made first. So I lost the coin toss. So of course they took Drake. So my trade-off was to try to grab as many defensive guys. Yeah, it's the dancing that back there, bro. I just talked about this. You get that ball, man. You got to be ready to take that thing and run with it. All this tippy toe and dancing is weird. I don't know who this says I run it back in the game right now. I'm not gonna get it done like that, kid. I'm not gonna get it done like that. And also caught a 20-yard dagger in 2 minutes to kind of put us in field goal range of ISIS. Coach Brown, you're already my favorite. You said defense wins championships. I believe it. I love it, Coach Brown. Absolutely. Coach, we appreciate your time. Thank you very much. Good luck this season. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, bro.
They got some swagger to them. And what stood out to me when he talked about just the staff in general, he talked about guys coming from different places.
You know, conversely, I was talking about how I hate that wide receiver screen play. I love quick posts. Quick posts are obviously my favorite. You either got a mess out there, man. At least just some sure hands. Like that's one of my favorites. Just having some sure hands out there. Somebody that can really.
These are guys that have all been on the headset calling plays and doing it their way. So now you bring all of these football minds together and you're able to form the offense that we
first down for the Commanders here. Moving the ball down the field now. So yeah, with these young quarterbacks that have been in the game, I feel like that I feel like there's been, like I said, that's not all gloom and doom. I've seen some good play calling, some good execution. A lot of drops, which is to be expected from, you know what I mean, some of the wideouts, but you know, more than anything else, I'm loving the, you know, how they're mixing up the offense here, and where these young players are finding themselves, gaps in the offense and stuff like that. So it's the same, you know, offensive set that the team will be running once they have the starters out in the field. You know what I mean? Like those, I don't know, you know what I mean? But I guess, you know, like I said, it's given a lot of film to the coaching staff to at least be able to use, you know, some of this, you know, film to help the other guys improve, the guys that are playing improve, and maybe even to use as an example. Way to go out there and block for the quarterback, man. Throw that lead block out there. Oh, slip run, kid. On the lead block from the quarterback. That's good, bro.
We're not trying to pump tires here. We're doing a local team broadcast here, obviously. We've seen good staffs. You guys have played with good coaching staffs. You've seen bad staffs. This sideline, when you watch it, it looks fun.
Commentated.
They're having fun. They're energetic.
I guess I probably should have pulled up the roster myself. Oh, excuse me, so I would know who the fuck this is out here running the ball and shit. That was a good run from whoever the fuck number 25 is. That's what North and scores the ball. Got it down to the 1.
You just said it. So the energy that's being brought by the coaching staff, and then also an influx of talent. Like when you look across that sideline, that Patriots team, and you see a guy like Stephon Diggs with a bucket hat, that changes things in that wide receiver run. It's constant coaching going. I mean, we keep doing these shots. They're not telling us to do this or that. I'm trying to be clear on this. Yeah, we're doing a local team broadcast, but I'm saying things I haven't seen in a while. Yeah. And I think one of the things is, this all starts with the influx of talent.
Bro, hand the ball off to the running back. What are you guys doing, bro? That made no sense right there.
I'm going to be energetic. I'm going to be ready to go. So you think about the first play of the game.
Running back literally walks in if they do it.
But a lot of that had to do with they kicked the ball to a super talented guy. And Vrabel said to that half, well, you got some kitty cats back there.
2-yard loss. Third and goal.
For blocking, you're doing more. So credit to this coaching staff. But again,
third and goal.
This has to do with being a team that spent the most money in free agency. Going out there and getting the right draft picks. That has a lot to do with it, and we're seeing the effects of that. When you have talent, you can win. I remember
touchdown.
Tell us all the time, good players. That's the only thing that helps you.
I was just watching the play.
He said, if I'm a great coach and I coach a lot of non-talented players, a lot won't happen. And Vrabel said it too. He'll learn not to lose games. You got to learn how to win games. And
I mean, twice before a block.
2-4 win teams back to back. It's hard not to believe that.
Looks like the Commanders might be going for 2 again. 17-41. I will update. Oh no, they're going to kick the extra point.
And John spoke about that. He said that's something we need to find out about our team. How we execute games, how we play when it's a one-single game, 3-point game. So that's good.
41-18. So it's not a total wash, but it's a total wash. You know what I mean? But yeah, the Commanders have been at least able to score the ball here and there, which again, like I said, man, it's got to be exciting for the players, the young players, to kind of know, like, all right, did this right, you know what I mean? Did this? I kind of hang my hat on this, that, or the other, and you know, especially even for obviously the coaching staff, you know what I mean? Kind of the kids and what they can work on, what you can show to them in film study. And what you can be hopeful on in terms of improvement. Maybe show you some things that you know, players can't can't do on this level. So maybe that'll show that they don't have the chops for the NFL, you know what I mean, like level right now, which, you know, is okay too. But that doesn't mean that they'll be out of the league. Sometimes some practice spots being given out, man, stuff like that. So folks who, you know, kind of come through, kick it on the practice team, you know, might find a place there in lieu of improving, and you know, just kind of patiently waiting for your opportunity. So I'm gonna get the updated score here on screen. Bang, there we have it, 18-41. The Commanders closed the gap just slightly after the gap had been extended, so still about the same. It is now a 23-point game, back to a 23-point game, and yeah, man, like I said, nothing really to write home about. Nothing really to write home about, man. Story of the second half so far, 7 PRS, has been, you know, much of the same of the first half. The Commanders have made a more, you know, valiant effort, I feel like, and have more intent on kind of spreading the ball around, taking a lot more, you know, pass plays underneath, and taking advantage of some of that, like the weaknesses in the secondary of the New England Patriots, but it's been the same. Kind of a lot of drop passes, and, you know what I mean, some bright spots on offense and defense for, you know, the team, but overall it's a turnover given up here at the end of the third quarter led to a score for New England. But I think they played pretty solid, you know what I mean, for what it's worth. I don't think they've just, you know, utterly and completely stunk it up. New England has come out to give more effort, you know, clearly. Been more effective, obviously, at moving the ball. So bit of a lackluster. I feel like a lot of the offense or the defense, a lot of the defensive showing from the Commanders was a lot more lackluster in the first half than it has been in the second half. The turnover notwithstanding, but that led to a touchdown for New England. I mean, so it's been a decent game. It hasn't been a, you know what I mean, like I'm not disappointed with what I've watched. I'm definitely not disappointed.
All right, 31 years old, coming off an ACL.
It's just a preseason.
Guys come off ACLs. I mean, I've never seen a guy at this pace come off and look as good as I didn't believe the videos and TikToks that you saw in the offseason, how he's working out. Obviously, when he's healthy, the production is there, the stats are there, 10-year vet. He's got to help this team, right? We sat with him and talked after practice on Wednesday.
Stephon Diggs,
man, how the heck are you able to come back and look this good, this fast? And he said, I've just been working, I've been grinding. The one thing that was fun to talk to him about, he said, hey, I've been around a few different teams now. I've had some winning seasons. I can recognize good energy when I see it. He said, being here, being around Drake.
So that's kind of what I meant too, man. Like I am you know, with the exception of like having it happen here and there in spells, man, I'm still happy about what I've seen from the secondary, from the Commander secondary. You know, kind of how they were holding that. A lot of pressure on the quarterback. You know what I mean, from the D line, linebacker core. But you know, that is kind of dependent upon the kind of, you know, packages that they have them in and what they're actually looking for. But a kind of decent amount. I think we could definitely stand for more pressure on the quarterback. But then again, these are the second, third string guys. You know what I mean? So would have been nice to see some defensive standouts today. You know, some kind of stepping up from, like I said, that defensive lineman or some, you know, linebacker coming in trying to make a name for themselves and just being, you know, absolute stud out there and all over the place. But it is what it is. Like I said, the secondary for the most part has played pretty solid, especially with not being able to get a lot of you know, penetration up front to keep pressure on the quarterback. So you just kind of hold your own. And it's just hard to do, man. It's hard to hold a receiver in space. And so the secondary has played, for the most part, pretty good. And that's just my opinion. But, you know what I mean? 2nd and 4, ball on the 29-yard line. Approaching the red zone once again. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, because there's no penetration up front, man, it's just hard. You can't even really protect against the run. Yeah, and you can hold the edge like that'll create and seal to the outside. Like I said, it's just impossible without a good showing. Or maybe that's just indicative of the reserves on this New England offensive line, man, just being far more superior than the reserves for the D-line of the Commanders, which is plausible. Yeah, these gaps are crazy in the running game. Gaps are craziness. So where I've been impressed with the secondary, man, not so much with not so much with these. I mean, even the linebackers, man, for me to get to like the second level, it's like just just so soft in the middle. But it is what it is. 4 minutes 44 seconds remaining. 1st and goal for the Patriots. 4:04 left in the 4th quarter. 41-18. Yeah, somebody's down, so you know what I mean. A little injury timeout. Let's see what other games are on here. That's it. So it's the last one. Everything else is over. It's the last one. Put us out of our misery, New England. Let's get this. 20 minutes left in the broadcast, they say. But yeah, man. So decent game. You know, for the preseason. Again, I don't know that there are any storylines really that I can take from this game. You know, aside from, like I said, getting a chance to see some kids work out that I'd heard, you know, being raved about in the training camp or through training camp, like Bill Merritt. You know what I mean? So aside from that, the game's just been the game. Fortunately, this is not our you know, our starters out here on defense. You know what I mean? Just kind of getting pulverized and made a fool of. So yeah, definitely higher expectations for the team as you know we go throughout. But hopefully a good enough showing through this game for some of those other kids, like I said, who otherwise might not make the team or who are trying to make the team. You know what I mean? Like obviously everybody can't make the team, but yeah, hopefully good enough space for, you know, a few others to stick around, man, that'll end up kind of benefiting us from being like the next man up, so to speak. When injuries occur, because there's no way to prevent injuries in such a high contact sport as the NFL. So, you know, a team is only as good as a team, you know, so you need good reserves, good quality reserves, people to call up that, like I said, that next man up, you know, mentality to happen and to take place. But yeah, I am, I guess, man, happy with what I saw. You know what I mean? I'm cool with it. I don't think I've ever watched a preseason game. Excuse me. I don't think I've ever watched a preseason game, to be honest. And I walked away from the preseason game like, man, I'm telling you, I'm like, never. I've never done that. It's just preseason. Like I said, holler at me week 1, week 2. You know what I mean? Like the real shit talking to be popping. Yeah, easy, man. That's so soft against the run. That's crazy. Crazy soft against the run. But like I said, that's to me, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, at least it's not indicative of the what the starters are going to look like out there. And yeah, just allow the preseason to be the preseason. Just the all white shoes. Step on things, cleats, crack on them little toes. It's a much stronger stance against the run right there. And like even as I talked about the run, like there was a couple flashes in the first half. So again, that's probably all predicated on substitutions. There were a couple flashes tonight of like some good showings on the front line. So there could be or could have been quite possibly a couple offensive standouts or defensive standouts, as I mentioned before. Some kids who are kind of lower on the depth chart from the standpoint of linebackers or safety, whomever else, who may have been able to make an impression today. D linemen, et cetera, even as backups. So yeah, New England just walked that thing in there, obviously. Thru once again. 47-18, present score. They tack on the extra point here. They'll be back up by 30. Yeah, like I said, man, really, really soft against the run tonight. But aside from that, 48-18, 3:25 remaining here in the fourth quarter, man. That's all but it. I don't know. We'll see how the Commanders handle this next offensive possession, but I think that's it. I expect them to wave the white flag on this one. Just escape this one without any injuries or anybody out here trying to do the most for no reason. It wouldn't even make sense. I need this one. Let me get the score updated here on the screen for you. And then, man, that's a wrap, essentially. So, like I said, man, I'll work on some content this week and centered around through the weekend. Really centered around this weekend's preseason games. And, namely, I wanted to give some flowers to young Shedeur Sanders for the game that he had today. The showing and his opportunity, taking full advantage of his opportunity and getting a start. And, kind of take in some of the other games tomorrow through Sunday and, just kind of, give more of a full episode of, content. And, yeah, man, then I'll go from there, man. I'll see you guys whenever I do that. Like I said, probably won't go live again here during the preseason football. It just depends on kind of who's matched up and how that plays out. That's the updated score there on the screen. But yeah, it depends on who it is and how it plays out. I won't be excessive in my live streaming for games here in the preseason, but just kind of trying to ramp it up. I wanted to see, obviously, the new layout and all that stuff and how it played out. I'll bring on, as I was saying before, also, man, some of my my fellow content creators and folks kind of collaborate and join in on the broadcast as well, man, the stream. So, we can talk a little shit and, I can have some of them contribute to some of the analysis as well. So it's just not me repeating the same things over and over and over again. So to have some other insights and perspective, man, will definitely help. But yeah, so this has been the first preseason game for the Commanders of this offseason, preseason leading into the 2025 26 NFL season. And it's been all New England in this one, man. But a lot of bright spots on both sides of the football. So certainly, a lot to look forward to for fans, of football in general, man. Welcome back to the NFL. I am happy about that more than anything else. I will, like I said, get some content up, regarding the NFL. And now that we've got a chance to see, man, because especially like I was saying about Shador, like, obviously I believe in Shador's ability. But for him to get the start in Cleveland tonight and then to have a good showing, not a lot that you can place on the preseason, but except to say, like, Shador looked like Shador. You know what I mean? Like the Shador that we're used to seeing. And so, with that, I feel like, like even though it's preseason, at least it can be said that, man, if this kid gets an opportunity, he can build upon what he has in his present tool bag, just continue to improve on this NFL level. So, yeah, man. So I'll get some content up pertaining to that. I had a couple other episodes that I was working on, some other content that I was working on, that I'm still working on, but I'm still working on research-wise to get up. And hopefully that'll be here over the next couple of days or so, either early part of next week or latter part of next week. I had another like LeBron James, centered episode that I was planning out, and I nixed it because I'm actually just sick of talking about the dude. You know what I mean? To be honest, like I just feel like his antics are his antics and they're ridiculous, and we get it at this point. But I said that to say, like, the folks who like to come into the comment section and argue and to be apologists where they feel like it's necessary over the truth, man, is always the funniest to me. You know what I mean? So, yeah, more than anything else, just looking forward to getting more original content up and more content centered specifically around the NFL as we wait for football, or rather wait for basketball season to come. That's, NFL basketball. I'm sorry, NBA basketball and also NCAA basketball. NFL, college football, we're right here on the brinks of. So I'm going to try to, get engaged with more of the, football content. So not just NFL, but also college football. And like I said, that'll kind of tide us over until, you know what I mean? Like rightfully I can talk about basketball season because there's more substance and we're closer to, getting started with that, man. So I'm not just kind of spinning my wheels and talking about the same silly shit. What I haven't done yet, I was talking about the other original content that I haven't gotten up yet. I haven't gotten a chance just yet to do my premature, season predictions. So I'll get that as I'm talking the NBA. I'll get that up here over the next month or so. And then clearly leading into about 3 weeks remaining before the NFL season starts, I'll do I'm working on a preseason predictions episode. I say, not what's going to happen in the preseason, but just preseason before the actual NFL season kicks off, where I can get my predictions on, who's going to take the divisions and kind of what the playoff picture will look like. So I got that in the works. So like I said, man, I'll hopefully get those up here before the week is out. Just having a lot of fun, man, and wanting to expand out a little bit. Minute 34 left here in this preseason matchup, first preseason game for the Washington Commanders versus the New England Patriots. And New England is up, as the screen indicates, man, 48-18. I was kind of expecting the Commanders to start taking knees here, but they're not. Minute 14. I don't know why this kid fucking blow his knee out. That's what I'm talking about. Like, kids take a knee. Let's get this over with. What's going on here? Right, man, crack your kneecap out here playing around. Let's go pack it in. But yeah, man. So, like I say, entertaining to a degree. Would like to see a lot more action in the game, but I mean, we got literally 66 points scored in this game, so it certainly was not a snooze fest, by a long stretch. There was a lot of good things happening, offensively and defensively. Left a lot to be seen, obviously, a lot to be desired. It's going to take a delay game here. Why don't you just take a snap and take it easy? The clock's just going to run.
Takes it to the house, and it's been an onslaught the entire time. 10-second runoff. Please set the clock to 15 seconds if I'm not ready. Brad Rogers shooting for the rest. so it's a good start for them too. Seems like, you know, not a ton of Jeremy Springer's unit, especially at 100 yards. Jed, you mentioned in our open, there's so many new guys on this offense, and that's a side of the ball that for the last few years, all the criticism has been focused there. So from the first play of the game, the first snap, Jeremy Springer's unit, especially at quarter, takes it to the house, and it's been an onslaught the entire night. 10-second.
No, that's it, man. So yeah, so that's been this stream, man. Game's over. That's a final there, 48-18. Serves as a 4-quarter score and now final for this one. Shut that down. So yeah, man, a lot to look forward to coming up here. I appreciate, you know, those of you who tuned in for the stream, for tuning in. I'm gonna get my ass out of here, man. Go grab something to eat. I'll catch you guys in, you know, my next episode. I'll notify you guys in the community section as to when, man, I might be doing another live stream. But I'm out of here for now, man. Blessings. Take care of yourselves. I'll catch you guys, you know, in the next one, man. Until then.